but I would see myself doing it as a hobby and utilizing YouTube or whatever platform to build something out of so I can get paid for it.
Welcome to George's Haven, life, laughter, and all its lessons. I'm your host, George. Join me each week as we dive into life's ups and downs, share a few laughs, and uncover the lessons that make the journey worth it. So grab a seat, relax, and let's get started.
Welcome back, everybody. This is episode 3 coming to you live. Not really live, but you know what it is. George here. This is Ab.
Hey guys, hope you guys are doing really well.
Ab's going to kick off this time for us as well. Just before we get started, though, I just want to do a quick check-in and say, how you doing, man? What's going on?
Yeah, I've been good. Today's a really blessed day. The sun was out and church was really well. So yeah, feeling blessed and good to go. How about you?
That's good. Yeah, not bad. Got a day off tomorrow and today, so happy days.
Congrats, man.
That's it, bro. That's
Woo!
it. Got to beat those the Monday scaries, is it called? I don't know, man. People have weird things these days. But yeah, if Garfield doesn't like Mondays, then I definitely don't.
Yeah, Thursdays for me. I just get knackered by Thursday.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
All right. And how's school going? Second week back?
School's good. It's good. There's a lot planned, and I just gotta pace myself.
Yeah.
But it's good.
You'll get it.
We'll
It's
get
chill.
It is chilled. It is chilled. And they do the best they can to support you. There's so much out there they can help you. So as long as you're on top of it, you'll be alright.
100%. Respect to those who are teaching too.
Yeah, add respect.
Cool. So what are we talking about today, man?
So today, I thought it would be nice to just talk about hobbies
Hobbies.
and
Cool.
maybe get into. I think the topic would probably be like how do we maintain hobbies and things like that as well.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah. So do you? First of all, do you have any hobbies?
Me? I want to say no, but I do. You know. No, I think my hobbies are I love cars, as you know. Always working on cars and things. I've actually got my 14th car. Ridiculous to think that it's gone to 14.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
But yeah, so I guess my hobbies is working on cars.
Yeah.
What about
Mine
you?
is looking at his cars.
True that.
I actually really do because
That can help me sometimes,
don't-
so that's cool.
I don't get to see many cars or learn more about them until he brings them home. I'm like, wow, you got that?
Yeah, that's fair. That's a fair point.
What was your question? Sorry.
What hobbies do you have? So yeah.
So I've got a bit actually, and I like to contribute to my ADHD because with ADHD you tend to want to start something new.
Yep.
But there isn't that issue of stopping. With people who have ADHD tend to start things and never finish them. But yeah, we'll go into it a bit later.
I can't agree or deny to what you just said. So you
It's
can
common.
speak,
It's
but
common.
yeah.
But yeah, we'll talk about that later. So I like to write music.
Cool.
I like lyrical rap.
Nice.
And just I don't do it a lot, but yeah, I like to rap as well. There's a difference between writing and performing.
Mm-hmm.
I think my church services, I count them as hobbies too. Because they're not things that I'm forced to do; they're things that I enjoy doing.
Yeah. Cool.
And then my gaming, I game a lot.
Gaming?
Yeah, but that's becoming more of self-care and less of a hobby.
Right, okay. But isn't working on hobby self-care as well? I mean, they're both the same thing, right? Because, well, technically, if you think about it, like, everyone describes a hobby as doing something you like, just for enjoyment, you know? So it's doing a repetitive task continuously for enjoyment. So, for me, as painful as cars can be, it's still fun, to an extent, unless you're missing tools and stuff, but it's still fun. You know, all the people who work with cars get it.
Quotation
Yeah,
marks in the middle. That's where
Yeah.
you are.
Of course, but I guess that would be the same thing, right?
I think it can turn to self-care because self-care is when something recharges you. You know,
Yeah.
and hobbies are really cool. But sometimes your hobbies might not recharge you. Maybe it's something you just like to do and you do it, and then it turns into something that benefits you. But
Okay, it's a very fine line to draw, but
it is a very fine line, I think. Because like I said, in my experience, I can say I have a lot of hobbies. I've knitted before, right? But they don't really do much for me. That's more of a hobby that I hardly touch. But when I do, it's like cool. I enjoy it, but it's not self-care.
yeah.
If that makes sense.
No, fair enough. I mean, self-care is in the title, you know, something to take care of yourself with and do that kind of stuff. To benefit yourself, whether it be mentally, physically, spiritually, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I guess hobbies are more activity-based than self-care routines, so that kind of stuff.
Well, so the first question I had on here, which actually which talks about this topic, is what's the difference between hobbies and projects?
Hobbies and projects?
Yeah.
Are you asking or you know the answer?
Both.
Okay, so what's your opinion on this then?
Are you asking me because you don't know the answer?
No, I know the answer, but I think
I
think it's very self-reflective.
It
so
could
it really
be
depends on what
depends on the person.
what you classify as a project and what you classify as a hobby.
I think a project is something that you want to try and get done, and you're trying to it's something that you want to try and get done, and a hobby is something that is continuous. I would have to say.
Yeah, exactly. So a hobby, I think what we have to take back into a hobby is a form of committing to a certain task or doing something repetitive that you enjoy. So for me, working on cars, or writing music, playing games, or like a hobby could be playing golf, or you can take that up professionally, or things like that. But hobbies have like puzzle making, and then you've got people who bake as a hobby and things like that. So those are not projects, because you can't say, "Oh, I'm taking up baking as a project." I'll say I'll taking up baking as a hobby. That sounds good, but a project, I guess, go back to what you're saying. It's something that you just have to complete over time. Things, and your hobbies have projects. So you doing gaming, I'm sure you've got multiple projects you're working on to try to get that sorted. Same with music, same with all that kind of stuff.
Cool.
So I think it's very self-reflective. Let us know down in the comments or wherever you're listening to this or watching it. Let us know what you think about that concept, whether it's hobby is a project or a project is a hobby, and what would you classify as the main difference between the two.
So another question that I wrote, and I forgot, so I'm looking back at my phone. Have you found it hard to maintain your hobbies? And if so, what have you done to help yourself?
Well, my hobby is very costly.
So you're forced not to do that.
Cars are very expensive. A lot of hobbies out there are very expensive, so I guess it comes down to a bottom line of what you want to do, how you want to do it, things like that, and what's going to fuel you to continue going. So to go back to the question was originally what has kind of kept me going to keep a hobby, or what are things have I ever been able to successfully keep it going, maintain it, that kind of thing, right?
Have you found it hard to maintain, and what are some tips to tackle it? Yeah.
Yes, and everything. Yes. So 100%. Yes, I think hobbies are very difficult to maintain. Because life gets in the way. Unless you have a good self-care routine, then you can prioritize your hobbies to keep you going, active and things like that, especially if it benefits you. For me, per se, like I was saying, finances are really hard, especially in today's world. So keeping up with cars as a hobby is quite expensive, quite dear, maintaining, fixing, all that kind of stuff. My dream hobby is to have multiple cars at one time. Fortunately, I can only afford one at a time. And just when you think you've got enough to buy another one, you've got to fix the current one, which is just a regular thing in my world. But what about you? What do you think?
I would add on before I add what I think.
Yeah.
Do you find a tactic where there is a point where you do save up and try to put into that?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
100%. I think constantly saving is the key, or constantly putting in effort towards your hobby is the key to maintaining your hobby, especially finding new ways to make your hobby interesting. So with cars, I love Japanese cars, but now I'm working on European cars, and then you work back and forth between American and Australian and all these kind of different cars that you have so much things that you can learn from, get involved in. And it would be the same with, correct me if I'm wrong, gaming, and it would be the same. You've got multiple different games you could play, multiple different genres and theme-based.
And you go through issues that you don't see coming, like burnout or...
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So it's definitely, for me per se, I would say it's just what it is. You have to take it day by day, for my hobby at least. So I haven't worked on a car since we worked on your car and fixed the bumper, and that went well.
You did. I'm super grateful.
But that's the point. Like it always works in the end to when you have to put in effort, and when you put in effort, it's great. But if you struggle putting in the effort, or don't have the funds to put in the effort, or don't have the means to, so for example, there are a lot of people who like to play basketball as a hobby, or like to play soccer as a hobby, and right now, just to play in a recreational league here in Australia it can cost you up to $1,000 for the season.
Yeah, it's pretty
so
expensive.
it's not cheap.
It's not. So I would add. Thank you. I'm sorry if I interrupted. I'm not trying to. I would add. It's very important to invest in yourself and have something. And I know that's really hard to say because some of us have families. We're so busy with work and school and things like this. But it is very, very important to set a time, even if it means waking up 30 minutes earlier and reading, if that's your hobby, or doing something, or planning to start something. Or try to invest that time for yourself, because when life gets super busy and things like that, we tend to neglect ourselves, and we kind of die a little inside, if that makes sense. When we're not doing something that we love, or we're not investing in ourselves, pretty much. I find it really hard for me because I do tend to have impulses. I do tend to start something and then not finish from it. And I've recently, with my music especially, I said to myself, okay, I love music, I love writing, I want to make sure I can do this long term. So what do I need to do? And it was a matter of slow down and change your mindset towards it. So it's okay if you don't write, it's okay if you don't force yourself, or you don't get burnt out and you don't improve as much as you wish you did. It's fine, because that's going to give you the ability to stay in this longer, which has been really, really beneficial. And now I take that on to everything I do. I take on to the whole, don't just go in there full on. Pace yourself and just enjoy the journey that comes from it.
Yeah, well, it's a process at the end of the day, right? So if you want to enjoy the process, everyone says life is a journey, and it's not, it's not the destination, it's the journey that makes up the whole story. So I got to agree, to an extent, that there is definitely a lot of things that we do that, hinder our performance in terms of what we want for ourselves, and there's a lot of things that we can do to benefit ourselves in that, and hobbies are one of them. So yeah, if you have a hobby, just jump in it, get in there, get involved. It's a lot of things in the world that are, unfortunately for me, for example, with cars, I've got a lot of conflict around me surrounding that aspect, so there's not a lot of will to get into it, but considering I like it, I do it. It's that simple. If it's something that I like and something that I'll enjoy, I'll listen to all the negative things around me and just get the job done so that I can actually enjoy getting the job done. And I'm sure it's the same with you with gaming, for example. Culturally wise, it's not usually what people want to go for, but
no, it's seen as you're wasting your life and your time and things. So you see they're just enjoying the journey that you're going on.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I keep telling you that there's a difference between a hobby and there's a difference between a project. And what we classify as a hobby, others may definitely see as a project, or definitely see as time wasting, or whatever it is. But there's a lot of people out there who do weightlifting as a hobby, and they're professionals. Strongmen, for example. There's a lot of people out there who work on cars for a living as a hobby. A lot of YouTubers, I can name heaps of them. And they're bloody brilliant, better than some mechanics that I know. You know what I mean? And same as gamers, and same as everything. So put yourself out there. Eminem, I'm sure, did not rap as a professional artist. He was a hobbyist. He was a battle rapper, street rapper. He dropped some bars on the street, and Dr. Dre took him in, and history was made. That's the thing. It's not start your hobby and it will turn into something.
Exactly.
That's it.
That's actually a really good point with Eminem.
Yeah, of course. There's so many people like that.
Just enjoy it. Yeah, just put that time into yourself as well. And
And then if you lose to Eminem like you did in 8 Mile, you can become an Avenger. It's okay. You can try. You can then, like that meme I sent you the other day, was the man failed to beat Eminem, but he proved that you can go on and beat Thanos. It's okay. It's okay. And you get to work alongside Black Widow, that's, and Captain Marvel and all that. Why not?
All the greats.
Why not? I was about to say Wonder Woman, and then I realised that was a different
piece.
Could you imagine?
You're right.
Yeah. That would have been so funny.
You give me Batman. Wait, what? And the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Now,
actually be pretty cool to see Batman versus Iron Man, two rich people going up against each other. And technically they're both orphans. I'm going to stop. Alright, continue, man. What's the next question?
I don't really want to say it now.
Why not? Come on, let's get into it.
So is it okay to stop hobbies?
Of course.
Yeah.
Why not?
I think it can have a mental toll on people.
I think you're reading too much into a hobby.
Yeah, maybe I am. But I think I was thinking more about I know for myself, I can get a bit just demotivated if I don't finish something, or if I don't.
And then it's no longer a hobby at that stage.
Yeah.
So I guess hobbies are something that you do for enjoyment and for fun, right? So there's no pressure behind it to get it done. There's no pressure behind it to actually get involved in it. You're doing it to have fun. Like going bowling every now and then is a hobby, or taking golf lessons or playing archery or whatever it is a hobby, right? So you don't have to necessarily put any time constraints behind that. If you're going to play bowling and say I have to get 300 by the fifth frame or whatever it is, or I don't even know bowling references, so whatever it is, then you've definitely made that into a task. You've definitely made that into a challenge for yourself, and it's good to challenge yourself in your hobbies. But if you're reading too much into it and going that far, when does the hobby become detrimental?
Yeah, when does it become like a job or something that you...
Yeah, when does it become a task that you have to tick off and no longer enjoy?
Yeah.
If you're going to do a hobby and you're no longer having fun with it, you're not doing it. You're not doing it for the right reasons.
Yeah.
That's the whole point. A hobby is recreational. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to get you active physically, mentally, spiritually, help you, communicate with other people, open you up, help you share, smile, laugh, joke, dance, all that kind of stuff. It's not work. It's not pressure.
Yeah.
So go back to what you said about self-care. If you're doing a self-care routine and you put your hobby on your list and your hobby's making you feel that way, is that self-care? I don't think so.
Yeah.
Take back your question. Apologies.
No, I think it's great. I think also like something that it's not a question, it's a statement more. Like George was talking to me about my YouTube channel because we do a lot of gaming stuff, and I'm treating it as a business, something that I like to grow and I enjoy doing those things. That is my hobby.
And you're good at it.
Yeah, thank you. But it gets to a point where it's also like, when does it become detrimental? Like I did it just so I can, fill my time in, because I wasn't able to get a job anywhere and things, so I had free time on my hands. So by what point did that become I was so focused on that I kind of neglected other things in my life?
There's a difference between doing it to start off to waste your time with something, and there's a difference between picking up and doing it as a hobby, I guess, in a way. But you have turned your love with gaming into a hobby, and you've turned that into a YouTube channel and something successful that can be, right?
Yeah.
So it's turning your hobby into a professional thing is not bad. I mean, I don't even know what the saying is, so I'm not going to butcher it, but basically if you do something you love every day of your life, you're not working, right?
Yeah.
If you go to a job that you don't like, you're working, that's not fun. But if you work a day in your life with a job that you love, you don't classify it as work. Whatever the saying goes. I don't know, because I've never been there. But theoretically, it sounds smart. If you do something you love every single day of your life, and it's work and you're getting paid for it, why the hell not?
Yeah. No, I get
I
it.
would love to get paid just to sleep. I don't sleep a lot, but I'd love to get paid just to sleep. I know there's so many people who would. I heard NASA was doing it for a while.
I'm the same. I don't sleep a lot too,
but that's what I mean. I've been trying to get you to pursue it for a while, and the reason for it is because you've done so much. You've done so much grinding. You've worked. You put in effort. And it's not just to show me, I know this. I've accepted the fact that you've done all this work, but it's to show the people around you who thought that you could get nothing from this, that you can get something from this. Do you know what I mean? And to show yourself. You put yourself on such a low pedestal. I've done all this. That's it. Nah, man. You've got a whole other layer. You've got way more layers than you know. Yeah. And your friends tell you about it all the time. Yeah. And your subscribers.
Yes.
So link in description. Let's get him blown up. Not like boom, I don't know. Get the numbers in the sky.
Get the numbers in the sky.
I was gonna make a really bad joke.
Yeah, we're moving forward from this conversation before it turns into a racist thing. Anyway, I say that because we are.
We're one of them. Anyway, we're not one of them. We're not one of them. I promise we're not one of them. Anyway, so hobbies, man. Like you were saying, right? So here's my question.
We did answer all my questions.
All right, cool. Well, I'm going to ask you a question, right?
Yeah.
Would you classify cooking as a hobby?
Yeah.
Why?
For me, yes, but it was a job. So some of you might not know it. I used to be a chef. Why now is because I cook. I don't chef anymore, so it's not really job focused. I had a lot of passion back then, and then I would have probably said to you it was a hobby, but then it turned into work.
Mm-hmm.
My mindset was really bad in it too, so it didn't really work out. I didn't have the skills to be able to ground myself and deal with that properly.
Work snuffed it out for sure.
Yeah. But now, when I cook, it is kind of a hobby, because it's like when I cook for myself. I enjoy the peace and serenity I have with just being myself. Though I would say more of it would be baking bread. I love that, and I find baking bread to be not just a hobby but self-care. Because
it's therapeutic.
It's very therapeutic.
Yeah,
it's just so nice and cool, and
it's relaxing.
It's relaxing.
Yeah. But that's my point. So the reason I ask you that is a hobby can be anything you want it to be. It could be a professional thing that you were doing for a long time and decided to stop doing, right? So if you worked like you did, you worked as an apprentice chef and you were working crazy hours, ridiculous hours, they snuffed the life out of you, they took away the passion, blah, 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 water under the bridge, you're a better person for it.
Yeah.
But it hasn't taken away your passion for cooking in terms of for yourself. As a hobby, you can still go and do that.
Yeah.
It's something that you enjoy when you're doing it, baking and things like that. Would you go back to the work? Probably not.
Probably not.
And that's my point. For me, for example, I did work experience as a mechanic as well for 2 weeks. Again, based on the things around me, I would never see myself doing it as a professional job to get paid, but I would see myself doing it as a hobby and utilizing YouTube or whatever platform to build something out of so I can get paid for it. That's what this world is going through. That's what the generation is. This time is happening. Back when we were younger, that is not the case.
Yeah.
Back when we were younger, a lot of the people started out then, and now they are seeing a lot of benefits from starting earlier.
Yeah. Right now,
so we are starting late, but we're getting there and we're doing it. That's the main thing. And this is a hobby of ours.
Yeah. And that's the other thing. So me and George, when we sit down and we edit these videos, right? And at one point we're like, bro, we'd like to put it on like 2 times speed, just listen about it to see if we can get some shorts out of it.
Oh yeah, of course.
Clip it out, at some point it just gets to a point where we're actually just sitting down and watching the video from like with proper speed and stuff, and we're like, bro, this is actually pretty cool. We're like,
how many times we were watching the last one and we're like, oh, run it back, listen to it again. What did he say? Nah, hang on a second, man. Are you sure he said that?
And I think that's the thing. Like I was telling George, if you can make yourself laugh, and if you can be happy watching your content, then you're in the right direction. And
of course, and that's what it's all
about a hobby and stuff.
That's what it's all about.
I hope that summed up a lot of things and came out. I think self-care. Can we talk a little bit about self-care, or would you like to have like a separate topic on that?
No, we'll probably do a separate topic on self-care because it's a little bit bigger than normal.
Yeah,
and it goes a little bit more in depth.
Yeah.
But keep it light, keep it breezy. Because it's cold out.
Yeah. As always, everyone, please take care of yourselves and let us know what your hobbies are and what is something that you've learnt to help you stick to your hobbies or to help change your hobbies.
That's it. And if you guys want to see more of Ab's content on gaming, please visit the link down in the description below.
Yeah.
We're going to put it up as well. I myself have a personal channel as well where I'm going to be doing a few things here. I dabble a little bit in poetry, you know that, so I'll put up some things there. If you'd like to show some love, please do so.
Yeah.
And we'll get that sorted.
He did fix my bumper, and it's a pretty cool video. I will probably link that down as well.
Oh yeah, if you want to see the bumper being fixed in Ab's video and actually understand and actually understand what happened and why the bumper flew off and how he yanked it off. No, I'm just joking. He didn't yank it off. We both yanked it off on the highway.
On the highway.
For good reasons, but if you want to see all the reasons for that and actually tune into that mayhem, please feel free to visit the YouTube link down below for that as well. As always, thanks guys for watching and listening to wherever you listen. We will see you in the next one.
Yeah. Roses are red, violets are blue. We're going to leave now.
So we'll see you soon.
Thank you for tuning in to George's Havens podcast. This is the end of the video, podcast, or wherever you're joining in. Leave a comment, share your thoughts, and let's get on to the next one. See you soon.